Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Sosbans and Sidesteps podcast. Joining me as always, Mr. Hugh Griffin and Benji. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
I'm very good, thank you.
Delighted to be here. I'm in a especially good mood, Mark, because we've just recorded something that all the people are going to get to see a bit later in the week that was special. I thought it was special.
It was special. I think I might have even called it the Sidesteps and Sosbans podcast. But you'll have to all look out for that one. That one's going to be pretty good. I enjoyed it. How about you?
I loved it. I loved it. I love doing those ones.
You loved it. You gotta love those ones. Being as vague as we possibly can. Okay, let's get through this then, guys. So let's talk positively. Brython Thunder won! Yay!
Yay! Brython Thunder won a game. We beat Glasgow away, an away victory, second victory of the season. The game against Edinburgh, the last game that we won, I'd say hop on and watch the full 80. Brilliant game. This one, highlights is fine. I would say stick to the highlights. They're okay. But it was a hat trick for Gwen Crabb, second row, who's just been announced in the Wales squad. Actually, we've got a fair few girls in the Wales squad.
Big squad, isn't it?
Yeah, neat. 48 players in the training squad with Sean Lean, now that he's in charge. And yeah, I call Sean Lynn Sean Lean. Neve Terry's in there. I think all our centres are in there. Hannah Bluck's in there. Picton Powell's in there, I think. Singleton's in there. Got loads of girls in there. Sorry?
Well,
Powell Picton in there?
Yeah, I think so.
what was the score?
Against Glasgow. I want to say 33-17, 33-14.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It was a game we expected to win. Glasgow bottom of the table. But yeah, glad we did. And we're playing them again at home next week.
To round off the season.
Yeah. So there's actually, if you fancy seeing a bit of rugby at the park, proper rugby, none of this international bollocks, proper rugby down at the park. The Glasgow will be hurting. They'll be wanting to make a proper game out of that. They want to be wanting to prove a point. Whereas a chance for us to get 3 wins on the board. So get down and see that. And there's going to be players playing in that game who are going to be playing in the Six Nations, Women's Six Nations, obviously.
The proper one.
Weird if they were playing in the Men's Six Nations. That would be a bit of a turnout. Even Jockey might not have ideas that grand. So yeah, there's my plug for that. Yeah, and putting us all in good mood, seeing the Park Scarlets team perform away from home. What novelty.
Yeah. So just for some clarity, that game is on the 9th, so Sunday, midday kickoff. So, take your kids to the minis rugby in the morning, straight down to the park. Happy days. Nice and simple, nice and easy. So, you just touched on it there. I really don't want to talk about this. I don't think many people do it, but apparently Scarlets men's, not Scarlets women's, Brython also.
Brython men.
Okay. Oh no, that's a bit disrespectful to them, to be honest. Scarlets boys. No, yeah, they went up to a little place in Northern Ireland and just didn't fancy winning a game. More than that, obviously a lot more than that. But yeah, it's just disheartening. These 2 games during the fallow weeks. I'm hurt more than anything. I don't know how you boys are feeling.
I very disappointed, obviously. I don't know, especially after going up 12-0 and looking very dangerous. I was thinking, and then I remember all these ones we've had where we've gone ahead and we're like, nah. Someone said in one of the chats I had, it was like, yeah, we've seen this before, and it was exactly what we expected. As in, I saw a stat earlier today that we apparently haven't scored a try in the last 20, or I think only once of all the games. Is that true? I saw a stat somewhere.
One against the Bulls.
Yes.
When Tommy Rogers skinned Curtly Aronson and ended his career.
He hasn't played international rugby since, I don't think.
He hasn't. He's not even played URC rugby. He's run off to Japan. Trying to think now. Go through our games.
You mean the ones we win, we score a try in the last 20? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think that's right. I think apart from the Bulls, I don't think we scored a try in the last 20. No, we didn't
But,
get one against Benetton.
but it's all these games where, you know, it's the difference. We've gone for the 3 instead of going for the try. And that has been the difference in these games.
Yeah, like I think this game was lost on that 60 to 65 minute period when we were camped on their line. We should have scored. There's no ifs, no buts, no
And we took the
coconuts.
points.
We should have scored a try. So we had a scrum on their 5 meter and didn't score off that. Then they tried a tap and go, and it was the same tap and go routine they did against Edinburgh, but going the other way. Edinburgh was right to left, this was left to right, and didn't score. But then we had another penalty, and they kicked the points. I'm like, we haven't tried going to the corner yet, and the corner, that's where the line out is where we score all our tries
And
from.
he gave them a warning. He gave them a warning to say, you've had 2 penalties now, this is a warning. And then we would go for the points. Why did we not punish them there? I have no idea.
And we were already on 3 tries as well.
Yeah. I mean, even if we lost and we had the bonus point try, that's still all obviously a lot better. And it's the same happened in that, I can't remember what game it was now. We kicked the points, still going for the try, even though we won anyway, Edinburgh. I don't understand it. I
Yeah.
really don't. We're not backing
Well,
ourselves.
It's a weird situation, I mean, how you've put out a nice little video on taking the 3 versus the corner. So, little plug there. If you fancy, if you haven't seen it, get over to HG
Yeah,
Rugby
not many people are
channel.
watching it, so if someone could go and watch it, please.
Oh, wow, you can't start with that, bud. You've got to promote yourself. Well, loads of people have listened to it.
There's loads of Scarlets in. I use the Scarlets as an example. There's a good 4 or 5 minutes of Scarlets chatting it.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think we do kind of have to talk about the refereeing in this game. I mean, I just said to you boys, the tone was kind of said really early on. It's like 2 minutes, if that. An Ulster player had, illegally stolen the ball in the ruck. He left it go. Ref said he's illegally stolen it. Let him have it. Cowdo kicks the ball away and no penalty given. And that just paves the way for the whole match. Honestly, that first Ulster try, I do not know a single men's league. I'm talking like Division 6. I do not know a single men's league where that try gets given, and that's without.
There's about 4 different reasons to rule that try out.
Is absolutely. There must have been every single rule in the book. It was so bad, just so bad. It's unbelievable.
But it's just frustrating because, like, I'm not even going to go into the stats on this game because if you look at the stats says fine. There was no statistical problems with that performance.
I mean, it was better than the Munster game, as in we had a lot more, And we lost by, was it a point?
2 points.
2 points.
A conversion. They had 100% off the tee.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing we're missing are leaders. Now,
we're missing out McLeod a lot.
Yeah, McLeod, he is it's unbelievable how big one player can be for a team. He literally lifts them. We saw it all last season, all of last season, and we're seeing it without him now. The moment he is on that pitch, everyone goes up a level or two. I can't believe that. And then if we look into the backs, Sam Costello as a 10. I know we've said it plenty of times. He's a 10. He's a proper general. He cares how backs move in.
I have no qualms in saying we win that game if Sam Costello's on the pitch.
Yeah,
100%. And
I agree.
And I know it was literally only 2 games ago against Edinburgh. That feels like a while ago now. And we openly said that was Johan Lloyd's best game at 10 that we've seen him. This, I don't even think Johan Lloyd played at 10 other than kicking. He was non-existent in this game. And, the stats back that up. Or was it, he had 4 passes in the entire game?
4 kicks.
4 kicks.
4 kicks.
You had a 10. How does that happen? And it's not even as if we're using someone else to kick the ball. I mean, something I did notice a lot of the first half is Johan Nicholas was standing at 10. I don't know if that's something we're planning on using next season without Lloyd, but, scary times for me.
And again, sorry, mate. Charlie Titcombe, unused sub. I'm racking my brains trying to think what was Johan Lloyd doing so right that they didn't want Charlie Titcombe to mess up. Like, Yeah, I can't see what could have gone wrong by bringing Charlie Titcombe on. Like, I get it's a tight game, and Dwayne, we've had a lot of tight games, lads. Like, I don't know if you noticed, and Dwayne doesn't like kind of changing the halfbacks in tight games. But you could have put Lloyd to fullback and kept him on, and then had Charlie bring it at 10 just to kind of do more of a kick-in game. It's just we just kind of let it happen. That's what's annoying. The reason why we're all so annoyed is not because we think the players are rubbish. It's because we think the players are plenty good enough to beat Ulster. And we think that we're a better team than Ulster and we should have beat them. And it's annoying that we didn't. And I genuinely hope that all the players, I hope that it was a very quiet bus ride, ferry ride, plane ride back to Connethley after it, because it's completely on us. We messed that up. And that's why we're disappointed. If this had been earlier in the season, if this had been round 4 where this happened, we'd have said, right, yes, all right. We can see the improvement. We can see what we're doing. We played some good stuff, scored some nice tries. We're around 12 now, and we're still losing games in this fashion. It's like, are we learning the lessons? Like I said, the reason that we're all pissed off is because we're better than Ulster. We've lost to a team who are worse than us. We've got better players than them, and we can play better rugby than them, but we've just kind of let them win.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. I'm still racking my head at the 10 issue. I mean, I understand. I really do understand not using substitutes in tight games, but honestly, when you've got a player of like Titcombe who has literally stood out at every single level he has ever been played, he's been taken on by multiple teams when things are like obviously under 18s, things happen. That's where I think I was up in Leicester. He went to Worcester, things didn't work out, got picked up again. There's been every step of his career, people have seen, there's a talent there. And when he has actually played, whether it was, in those under 18s, Loughborough University, SRC, he is an absolute standout player. And I don't understand why we're not giving a player like him the minute. I'm baffled, especially, seeing some of it, some of his games, the way he plays, the way he controls the game, the way he kicks that ball. I mean, I love his spiral kicks. I know I've said it plenty of times, but
you got to feel for him though. He's not getting a chance, is he?
Well, it's the same as Archie at the minute. Yeah. I don't understand what Archie could possibly do to get into this team. And, Cowdo's played some great rugby for us. He's also played some pretty below average rugby for us. I mean, our exits,
oh my God.
I don't know what. Oh my God.
Restarts. Like, when we score a point, might as well just give them a line out on R22. Because that's what's going to happen. They're going to kick it deep, and then we're going to stuff up the exit, and then they're going to get an attacking platform on R22. Like, it's not good. Like, I was watching Top 14 last night. I was watching the Bayonne players. They're kicking it from his goal line outside of his half. I'm like, what is this? I didn't know players could kick the ball that far. Like, I'm watching them, their fullbacks playing kick tennis, literally 22 to 22, playing kick tennis between each other. I can't remember the last time I saw a Scarlets player kick the ball that far. I'm not exaggerating. We would be 4th in the URC if we kicked the ball further. Like, it's that. Like, I'm sorry I'm being horrible, and I know some players listen to this. If you are a Scarlets player and you listen to this, kick the ball further.
Get the exit sorted. Someone lead, someone step up when McLeod's not there. I mean, you don't have to do much. It's just a little saying, I'm fucking going for this. Who's with me? Come on, let's go. And it's just not there, and I don't know why it's not there. You could see the frustration in players like Johnny Williams. He was really tanked off. Yeah, he was really tanked off. He was on the floor, Ulster player on the floor, hands all over the ball. It gets flicked around or wherever, a knock on is called, and Johnny wants to bite Sam Grovewhite's head off. And there's Elias just going, calm. Like, and I get you've got to have that side of you, but at the same time, you want to be barking as well. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Johnny's in unbelievable form. Like, the reason we're being so het up is because we're frustrated, because we believe in these players and we love these players and we love this team, And it just annoys us to see us lose games in that fashion. It shouldn't happen.
And
It
a lot of them
shouldn't
played their
happen.
heart out, didn't they? You know, like
Yeah.
Max Page was class. I mean, even Owen Nicholas, I thought played really well.
Everyone's got to try played well, is it?
Pretty much, yeah. That first like 10 minutes. Yeah, but even like, you know, bringing Van der Merwe on and they just changed the game in the sense of like we were making more meters, but then we didn't do anything with it.
No, I know we can't go back in time or anything, but I'm looking at the back row we had out there. And we've just let, you know, Carwyn Tuapolotu first go to Saracens on loan and now off to Poe. Anyone who has seen his highlights from his 3 games in Poe, oh my God, how have we allowed him to go? The way he is playing, I don't know if it's just a new environment, but he has been absolutely outstanding for them. You know, like 17 carries and 74 meters in his last game for Poe. You know, that
Well,
he's a number 8.
That's the only stat that I wanted to bring up is that Ulster got, I think, something like, I want to say, hang on, I've got it written down somewhere. Oh, yeah, I've got it here. Cool. So Ulster got 2.7 post-contact meters per carry. We got 1.9. And like their number 8 was making meters for fun. Big Stu McCluskey was making meters for fun. That was the worrying thing. That was always going to be what was getting them into it, was their post-contact meters were much better than ours. So that was frustrating. But like I said, we still had the game won and just let it go. And it's on us. It's on us. It's nobody else's fault.
Yeah, I mean, what do we do going forward? You know, are we literally the Stormers is our next game up, and
We got to win that.
Yeah, that's turned into a must-win game, and I have no qualms in saying that that's a must-win game. And we've got more than enough in our 23. In the 23 that played on the weekend, there's more than enough in there to beat the Stormers at the park. You know, that's without bringing all of our international backs in. You know, Plumtree and Matthias. Matthias, I still don't understand why he wasn't involved in this game, but you know, there we go. I mean, it is so tight, you know, in and around, you know, well, what is it, from 4th down to 14th? You're talking 7-8 points. It's unbelievably tight. And we spoke about the start of the season, you know, we should have been easily top 3. We should have 2-3 wins more than, and now there's definitely another win against Ulster. And
there's a pattern now, isn't it? You
yeah,
know, we are following. It's almost like we're forgetting how to win, and you know, unless we're at home, and we are favourites. That's the way I see it at the moment, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to beat the Stormers. I mean, the run in. I mean, I don't know how to make of this now. You know, we've got Stormers and Ospreys at home. You know, Dragons away, Leinster at home.
Dragons is neutral venue. Dragons
Judgment Day, isn't it?
Judgment Day.
And then we've got the South Africa trip. Now, I know I said probably 2 months ago, well, probably even longer than that, there's not many teams that I fear in this league with the team that we got. There are a lot more teams that I fear now just because of the way that we're playing. I know we've got enough. We put our best, you know, any of our best 26, 27 players onto that field. I know we can beat almost anyone. But right now, I really don't know what's happening. And quite frankly, I'm really hoping that when these boys come back from Wales, well, when Josh McLeod, you know, I think he's only got a niggle. I'm hoping it's more precautionary that he's not been playing. And
Sami gets back.
I'm really hoping Sam, you know, gets an extra couple of weeks on his recovery and he can play in the Stormers game. But I don't want to push him in case something bad happens. But yeah, we need some form of impetus put into us now. I mean, we have more or less a full squad to pick from. I mean, I think the only major injury is what, Harry O'Connor, and you know we got plenty of, you know, great tight heads. Henry Thomas, Sam Wainwright, Archer Holt is doing really well. So, you know, there's no reason why we can't be pushing on and doing more and more. Okay.
Yeah, it's only because we care, boys. That's why we're all so annoyed. It's because we care.
Yeah.
And we're not like we're not going to patronize you by patting you back and oh, you tried your best. Like we have expectations of you, and
we know you can do it.
That's exactly. We know you can do better.
Yeah.
So that's why we're annoyed. Do you want to finish it up just by just having a look at the sexy try? Because it doesn't seem to matter what happens in Scarlet's games these days. We get a sexy try out of it, whatever happens.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at that.
Scarlet way.
Now, to be honest, there's nothing particularly new or exciting about this try that we haven't seen before. So it's a starter play off a scrum, another first play. And when I watched this, I was kind of a bit shocked of like, bloody hell, we just walked from our own 22 to their try line.
Easy.
It was so easy. So standard play, nothing we haven't seen before. Ball goes to Johnny. Johnny, ball out the back. Seen it 100 times. Tommy Lewis do you remember, Mark, we spoke about Steph Evans being close to Johan Lloyd? Kind of same again here. And this is exactly the same pass that Johan Lloyd threw to Ellis Mee. Bit of a better pass this time, goes straight to the breadbasket for Johan Nicholas. He's on the outside of their centre. This is the key bit, though. This is the exciting bit here. Gets to Max Page. Yeah. We discussed it on the last pod, Mark. This is why I'm saying keep him on the wing for now, because he's just making stuff happen.
Just look at where he is on the ball. So he's got six meters to play with, and
all speed.
What? Yeah, the winger. I don't even understand how it was that narrow as it is. So he's got what?
That's Stockdale, by the way. I think that's Jacob Stockdale.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Did he go on a line still? Let's say he did. Let's say he's a test line. And there's like a just bit of acceleration. I'm just gonna see if I can get it. This will probably break the video, but just boom, and just leaves him after burners for dead. And then it's just a run in for Johan Nicholas. I think he probably wanted to go inside a bit, but to be fair, you've got Mike Lowry of Ulster, the fullback, is coming across decently, so he's got to dot it down in the corner, unfortunately. But another one for the Scarlets. Cool tries off starter plays collection that we're going to have about 20 of by the end of the season. So at least there's that.
At least there is that. Oh, I haven't put that. Sorry, boys. We would normally be heading off to the community game, but I've just realised I haven't put one result in, and there is a reason I haven't put that result in, because it's not a very good result, but bear with me. I will see if I can get it. You know what? Bugger it. Let's just go straight into it, and I'll see if I can pick it up along the way, is it?
You're in charge of this bit, Mark?
Okay. Yep.
I'm in charge. Wow.
Down to you.
Oh, it's nice. Okay. Let's share the screen for our video listeners, and if you can look right on the bottom left corner, you can see here the little boxes. Go away. Sorry, that's my screen, not you. Is a Division 1 Cup semi-final game that I am going to result for. So we will start up in the SRC Cup, as we quite normally do. So first game was in Pool A, where Llandovery looked to really assert themselves atop Pool A, and they got a nice, comfortable victory, 50 points to 35 over Bregent. Bregent really came back into it.
This is why they call it Super Rugby Cymru. I don't know if anybody's seen the Super Rugby scorelines lately. That's why they call it that.
No, but fair play, Llandovery. They put a team to the sword in this cup, and then they've been bringing on some quite inexperienced players, and if you can see on the screen now, you'll see that in the 23. So boys we had involved, we only had Kian Abraham, who started full back in the 15. Road to recovery is still going strong for him. And then in the 23 we had Tom Phillips, who was under 18s last year. I think it's his third appearance, all in the cup. And then Kai Howell, who was literally playing for Scarlets under 18s a couple of weeks ago. So, that's now, I think, the third under 18s players of ours who has turned out in a senior men's side this season. So we've had Dom Kossuth and Kai Howell with Llandovery, and we've had Ocean Williams with Carmarthen. So, these are all forwards as well. So, Ocean Williams is he's more of an 8, but he plays at lock as well.
Yeah, that's
Kai
amazing.
Howells,
It being forwards, like you get
yeah.
17-year-old wingers, but
Yeah.
not forwards. That's amazing.
So Kai Howell plays mainly lock. I think he's more of a lock 6. And then
That's crazy. At that age,
Don
that's
Kossuth.
mental.
Yeah. Don Kossuth, he is a mountain of a boy. And I meant to say man, but he's not. He's 7. I think he might even still be 17. He was 17 when he played that game. And wow, he is a beast. Fair play to him. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these boys in the Wales Under-18s Six Nations Festival in it's about a month or so time now. Well, not even that, I don't think. So, games coming up. There's only one game coming up this week. Oh, sorry, I didn't talk about Carmarthen. I wonder why. It's because they lost to Swansea at home. Oh my god! When they lost down in St Helens, I was like, okay, Swansea bit of resurgence. I get that, but now, I don't know what to think. 17-39 at home. This has been a hard season since very similar to the Scarlets. Lose their captain, Josh McLeod, and we don't play as well. Lose their captain, Tom Phillips. Don't play as well. I haven't won a game without them. So, yeah. In their 15, our boys, we had Ellis Payne and Keanu Evans. 23, we had Rodri Lewis and Gabriel McDonald. Games coming up. So, I'm assuming we're going to be a week or so where we don't have a podcast. So, I've done like a 2-week sort of forecast for this. So, coming up this weekend, we got Llandovery at home to Cardiff.
Oof.
That's going to be a banger.
Hang on a minute. Haven't they already played that? Or is this a playoff? I swear that game's happened already.
That game happened in the Cup. It was 40 points to 33 to Llandovery.
Right.
And I believe they've already played down at Cap as well. I can't remember who's won that, but there we go. Carmarthen's Cup run has ended. They are 0 for 4, so they do not get to play. They won't be playing in this next round. 2 groups of 5, so one team gets a weekend off. And it's Carmarthen's weekend off on the 15th of March, which Llandovery will be travelling to Aberavon to really solidify their top position in their pool. And if they score more points, and if they score get more league points than the winner of Pool B, that means the Cup final will be held at Llandovery. So there's always that to play for. So it's not just a dead rubber yet. They need to beat out Ebbw Vale in that, because it seems it's going to be Ebbw Vale in that. But the only issue I've got, and I think everybody has, is the final is going to be played on the 20th of March on a Thursday night, so it can be televised. So WIU, big clap of the hands, Thursday night final. Oh, we love it. So such innovators, such innovators. Okay, I'll go into the Cup rugby now because we got some positives in there. So Championship Cup semi-final, it was down at Bonamine. Bather came up from the Rhondda. Llanelli Wanderers, obviously from Llanelli, went down. And 30-28 winner Llanelli Wanderers. What a back and forth game this was. Watching some of the updates on socials, it was unreal. The emotions you feel just watching it. And I say this when I follow some of the SRC games over on that pod. You just watch it and you get so enthralled. You feel as though you're really invested in it, which is absolutely brilliant. So well done to Wanderers after winning, Division 1 Cup last season. They now get a crack at the Championship Cup this year against Tondi, I believe, who they'll face in the final. Division 1 Cup, Hendy had to go to Tonmawr. They are 31-0 against Bridgend Athletics, so no great showing for them. They actually put a post out on it, being well done for getting this far. No one else in One West managed to get to the semi-final, so keep it going, boys. You've done really well. Okay, into the actual league fixtures. So in the Premiership, Narberth went down 39-33 away to Cardiff Met. Just falling short, that's unfortunate there. Llangennech being Llangennech, 64-7 winners over Newcastle Emlyn. Hard to see Newcastle Emlyn playing anywhere other than Championship West next season. Fixtures for this coming weekend, we got Narberth at home to Neath. Another massive test for them. They are in a very, very similar relegation battle, and they need to pick things up. Over into Championship West, we've had a few games. So, like I said, it's been a few weeks since we've been on here, and it's going to be a few weeks after. So, back on the 19th of February, Shettley Wanderers won 20 points to 11 against Trebanos. This past weekend, Ammanford won 43-21 at home to Gleneath, and Crimich went down 53-7 away to Kenvigill. Kenvigill, a good side. They are right up there in the league. So, no pride lost on that one. So, upcoming fixtures, we got Shettley Wanderers this weekend at home to Maesteg Quins. And then on the 14th of March, Shettley Wanderers are travelling to Gowerton. So, One West, a game back on the 21st of February. Hendy lost 12-19 at home to Kidwelly. Sort of a sign of things to come for them, maybe. Who knows? This past weekend, Vellenvol won 32-23 at home to Kidwelly.
Palindromic scoreline.
Yeah, Tenby winning away against Pencloud in what was a very, very, very close game to hit in a 100-point margin, 28-103. Now, that can't be far off. That's got to be a record for the league, or overall for Welsh leagues. I'm not sure, but that's got to be right up there.
It was ice creams all round back in Tenby.
It really was. By the time they got back there, they were all melted or frozen, depending on the temperatures.
How many tries is that?
That's insane. That's at least 14. I gotta reckon, maybe 15. Maybe that's without pen clouds. Other game in this league, we got St. Clair's going down 5-33 at home to Aberystwyth, and a game our very own Benji may have attended. If you can see that there's teams in italics, it means because they're not Scarlets region teams. So Pontedilais against Swan-Eilid. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but I'm not learning them. They're a Swansea team. They can do without. So Benji, do you want to take it over for a quick briefing on this one?
Yeah, it was obviously a close game. I think when Alloyd were pretty much in control most of the game, and then Bond came back, scored a couple of tries. Yeah, it was a good game. There was a good crowd on there. Enjoyed it.
And that's that. That's the Benji briefing. That's what we like. Ooh, when I've had
it's not somewhere I go often, so I can't tell you.
One team scored more points than the other, and they ended up winning.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff. You gotta love it. So that was 24-27 in favor of the away team. They don't get this league doesn't play again now till the 22nd of March. So hopefully back on before then. Over in 2 West Central, Brynaman were meant to play away against Brecethin, but that game was postponed for whatever reason. They will now replay that game on the 14th of March. Into 2 West, and Larne won 40 points to 34 away to Betters. Carmarthen Athletic, 19-10 winners at home against Lampeter. Still a bit of a shock here. Lampeter losing. They've lost their last 2 games now to Larne and now Carmarthen Athletic. Unbeaten before that in the league. They were having a walk-in for the title, and now it's still in their hands, but it's not looking as certain. So Nancaredig winning 46-24 away to Milford, and Lcha winning 20 points to 14 away to Whitland. Fishguard with a bye in this beautiful 9-team league. I wonder how many times you've heard that from me this season. Fixtures for this upcoming week, we got Larne at home to Betters and Lampeter at home to Milford Haven. On the 15th of March, we've got Carmarthen Athletic travelling to Milford Haven. On to 3 West. We've got Aberaeron winning 17-16 at home to Cardigan. Kev Nathan 32-20 winners at home to Llangadog. Tumble going down 27-24 away to Haverfordwest. To Croyce winning away 29-17 against Llandailo. And Pontevedra losing 31-36 at home against Ammon United. Only fixtures we've got in this league is this following weekend. We've got Cardigan at home to Pontevedra. 4 West Day, Neyland winning 26-19 away to Newcastle and Dragiai. Narberth Athletic cruising 55-6 away to Langham. Pembroke Dock Harlequins 29-20 winners at home to St David's. And Crimich Tyru 35-14 winners at home to Pembroke. Llanybudder with the bye. Fixtures upcoming this weekend. We've got Neyland at home to Langham. And then on the 15th of March, we've got Pembroke Dock Harlequins at home to Narberth Athletic. 4 West B. Trimsara and 38-10 winners away to Binya. Furness 29-13 winners at home to Pennebank. Llandibby going down 6-28 at home against Fall Bay. Pantavanna narrowly 32-41 losers against Tregaron. And then Hughes New Dock Stars winning away from home 34 points to 20 against Pontyates. That title is looking closer and closer by the day. I need to check that table. It might
Is that
already
it's got to be the league in the bag by now, surely.
I mean, I will have a look, but who really knows in these divisions? They're so tight, and extra games and points can just randomly appear. I'm only joking, of course. Fixtures in this league now. This weekend we've got Furness at home to Trimsaran, and we've got Llandibby at home to Pennebank on the 14th of March. So there's New Dock need 5 points when they've won the league. One game, I believe. With games won normally being the second qualifier for positional teams. Yeah, they've got this league wrapped up. One loss in the league all season, so well done there. Hugh, you've done a good job. All those inspirational team talks of training on Tuesday and Thursday, they seem to have done the trick. So I've got to give it to you. You've done something well there.
All in a day's work.
Now we go into the youth league. So semi-finals of all the knockout rugby. So in the cup, Llandilo look to retain their title with a 17-13 win over Builth-Wells. Down in the plate, Crimich went down 19-8 against Casainan. Haverfordwest 19-34 losers against Barry. In the bowl, Aberystwyth lost 31-7 away. They was in Tenby against Cardiff Quins, and Felinfol 35-27 losers against Llantrisant. So just the one team left in the knockout stages. So one team left in the final. That is Llandilo. They will be looking to retain their trophy from last season. And that's the community game done, boys. How are we all feeling?
Woohoo! Fantastic.
Informed.
You're supposed to be sad at this point.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm so sad it's over.
I've got something that can make you sad.
Go on then.
We've had a letter.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's from Jack from Lucker.
Who else?
He says this. Dear SNS. He started abbreviating it to SNS. Save time. As it's recruitment season, I've attached a list of 20 players I think the Scarlets should sign. Where I'm from, we're very good at coming up with lists of 20 players. Now, some of the names on it might be made up, and some of them might be children who have never played rugby. But all in all, I think it's very important that everybody sees the list. Yours, Jack from Lucker. What do we think, guys? I personally don't condone lists of 20 players where some of them are children who've never played rugby before.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? There's so many things going on in the world. You got people trying to bribe children to turn up to stadiums to see players that were never even going to turn up. And and not even just the once. I think that's probably going to happen more times down the line. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, 20 players. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like what, an academy. Okay, so what? I mean, why does he keep writing? I mean, are you responding to these? I need to know now. It just doesn't make
reading
sense.
them out live on the pod. He's encouraged, is what he is.
He's got a platform now.
Yeah, exactly. We're platforming him. That's what the problem is.
I reckon there was a telephone number at the bottom of it on the very first letter, and he and Hugh have been best mates ever since. It just seems right. I don't know why.
I'm surprised no one's made a fake Twitter account for him by now. I'm expecting him to pop up in the replies at some point. I think a lot of his mates pop up in the replies of everything that we ever post. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone, or he himself, obviously, because he's real, made a Twitter account. Anyway,
wow.
shall we finish on something nice then? Shall we talk about our beautiful boys who've been playing for a team who plays in red but not called the Scarlets, and it's been going quite well?
Quite well. I mean, that's
one
way to look at it. I mean, one good performance, admittedly. Yeah.
There was the one where they all played. Yeah, against Ireland. That's the first time all three of them played.
Oh, you're talking about? I thought you meant the whole lot. Then I was thinking, no, That's not what happened. But yeah, we talking back three. I mean, it's what we do. We produce backs. We produce some amazing backs, and I know, Ellis and Blair Murray have come in from outside, but Tommy Rogers, Eddie James, Joe Roberts, they are all Scarlets through and through from birth. I'm not gonna have anyone say otherwise. Joe Roberts is a true Bury Port boy. Eddie James, Carmarthen, Tom Rogers, Kev Nathan. I know it's quite a small area I've picked from it to go full Scarlet. But if I say Kevin, we can go over the Narberth a little bit. That sounds like fun then. But yeah, that's something we've always done well. We've always produced backs, and that's not ending anytime soon. We've seen some of the players in the academy, in the junior academy especially. I mean, even though there's quite a lot of good forwards in there, as we've slightly mentioned in the community update. But yeah, I'm assuming you might want to talk about Tom Rogers flying antics, or maybe Ellis and me try that didn't happen, but probably should have been given.
Should have happened.
Well, I've not got any. I've not got any clips queued up or anything. But it's just nice to see, wasn't it? I told you. I picked Ellis Me for a call up for the autumn, and you laughed at me.
I didn't laugh at you. I said no. I said I don't want him going.
He's a natural,
we've lost. And imagine if Ellis Me was in our squad against Ulster. That would have raised it a little bit again. I mean, we could have had.
I mean, we still had Max Page and Tommy Lewis. He was there still good.
Yeah, and me would have been fullback, and Johan Nicholas could have covered all the positions on the bench. That would have been lovely.
Well, that's the point now, isn't it? Is Wales are playing him in a different order to what Dwayne's playing him. Now, Tom Rogers was asked about it, and he was like, that it was kind of a bit of an underarm question, and he was like, "Oh, is it just numbers don't matter?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, numbers don't matter." Yeah, okay, all right. So, what order does it work in this order? Because I think Blair's better on the wing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I understand why they want Blair at fullback. I can see the left-footed kicking option, and generally speaking, you have more space if you're regularly slotting in deep at fullback. I get that, but I of all of the three of them, Blair's the last one I'm putting at 15. If I'm totally honest with you guys, and I know, well, they say height doesn't matter, but if you've got a winger who's in excess of 6'3" and 17 stone, it doesn't matter how good in the air you are. If you were 5'8", 5'10", you're not going to win that battle. You're not even in second place coming in. You're probably closer to fifth place in that 1v1 battle.
So you put Ellis Me at fullback?
I think Tom needs to go there first.
Yeah.
Tom's got a lot more experience.
He's going well on the wing, though. To be fair to him, the wing is going well for him.
But he's so good in the air, though.
And then, but then you've got that. It's because what we're seeing is the kick chases where he's retaining possession.
Yeah.
How many of them would he be in position for if he's starting a fullback? Because he's not always going to be in that line.
No.
Where he is. So there are arguments for and against. I wouldn't be against me at fullback. I just think that.
I think that's where he'll end up.
Yeah. He should probably end up there. I just think that Tom should have been 15 for Wales during last year's Six Nations. I think that would have been the perfect time to put in there, and I think that would have accelerated what we're seeing now. But there we are. We tried someone else. We were like, oh wait, he can't tackle. Never mind. Now we are where we are. So yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying watching the boys play. It is always good when they pull out a half decent performance. Something we haven't seen.
The confidence is growing now as well. So I'm hoping they'll come back to us with a bit more confidence, especially Tommy Rogers, scoring that try. He knew he was scoring it.
He does that. This isn't even something we've seen once or twice. We've seen these little dive-in tries from his quite a lot over the years.
Is that strictly necessary? But okay.
But do you remember his discipline last year was very poor? He kept giving away penalties every yellow cards last season, and it seems like his confidence was gone this season. He's completely, he's double ahead.
Yeah, I get you. I really do. It's interesting to see. what was it? I think it was the 21-22 season. I was watching him and I was thinking, this boy could be a future Lion. I like, you know what? I can back him. He keeps on this career progression trajectory, and he's going to be a Lion. And obviously, then
he's on that front foot now. I think.
Yeah, he had a
he's gonna
few.
keep going.
He had a few years where he didn't really progress or even play at the level he was, but he seems to be back now. And someone actually posted, the Scarlets on this day that he scored his first try for the Scarlets, almost like 5 years exactly before his first score for Wales, which was cool. That's a
he scored
nice
against the
moment.
Barbarians in 2023. I swear he scored in that game.
Barbarians 2023, is it?
Yeah, straight after the World Cup.
I'll have a look for you, but
Right, I'll waffle, I'll vamp while you look that up. I thought Joe Roberts. You go, mate.
Is that the one Sam Costello got injured in?
Yeah, where he somehow did his hamstring and his shoulder in the same action
when he scored that try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that Joe Roberts had a good impact off the bench as well. When I say impact, he attempted 5 tackles, made all 5, and 4 of them were dominant hits. That's what I call an impact sub. I thought he did well because he was playing on the wing as well, covering for Tom, because Tom still is only playing 60 minutes for whatever reason. And I saw that in front, because you were not sat far away from me, Ben, so I don't know whether you noticed. But he was feeling his hamstring on about 58 minutes, and I was like, he's off. And then 60 minutes he was off. So there's something going on there. But it's tricky to see where Eddie gets a game at the moment, just because Ben Thomas is doing a great job at 12. But I'm excited to see what. It's a shame. It's almost a shame that Jockey's not sticking about, because I think Sam Costello. Breaking news.
Yeah, 30th minute of the game, Tom Rogers scored an uncapped try for Wales.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
But I think in this current system, I think Sam Costello looks amazing playing in the Jockey system. Is my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, you've got to think. I know with different teams, but the way we attack is, Cardiff and Scarlets is quite similar in the fact that how we try to work off first fave ball, off set piece. Both score a hell of a lot of tries off first phase, and that's we've seen this plenty of times in the Scarlets this match against Ulster included, and we saw this for Wales as well. These starter plays are where our boys excel. You've got to take the physicality as such away from it. If we can't succeed in bashing doors down, we got to run them around, and this is the best way to do that. I mean, you're getting 10 to 15 lineouts a game. Even if you're back in 5 of them in a position where you can score from, so, from your own 10-meter forward, and then you look at the scrums you get in a game, you're easily going to get 10 set piece options where you're going to get a ball per game to try these different starter plays. And quite frankly, if only 3 of them work, that's 3 tries. You have a solid defense. 3 tries is enough to win you an international game of rugby.
Yeah. I just in his first Wales game I've enjoyed in ages. You were obviously betting in the stands. It was fun, wasn't it? Even though we lost.
It was, and everyone was into it. I was with a friend who doesn't really watch rugby, and he loved it. So I mean, that's what we want, isn't it? We want to bring the casuals back.
It was flipping loud though, like with the music and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was sat right by a tannoy speaker, and I was like flipping out.
And those flames are boiling. Yeah, because you were literally like just above me when you.
Yeah, I was over your left shoulder.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think Henry Thomas underrated around the park as well. I think obviously we know him for his scrummaging, but I think he's underrated in terms of his carrying and his even his hands almost as well. So good to see him getting some game time as well. So generally going quite well for Scarlets boys in the Wales team. We've got the back 3, so we just need to work gradually forwards now. Oh, that's the point. I want to get your guys' take on this. If we're going to continue, Wales are going to continue with like a bigger 13 in terms of they're going to stick with Ben Thomas as the 12 and then have a Max Llewellyn style player at 13. I think Johnny Williams could do that job.
Yeah. I honestly don't know why he hasn't.
Johnny Williams is the form centre, and people go, "Oh no, Max Llewellyn is playing different positions, as in he's playing on the wing. He's not. I'll be honest, his selection doesn't seem very consistent. As in, he is definitely the best 12 or 13 that Gloucester have available. That doesn't scream to me when you see that he's had like 6 starts on the wing. If you've got a player that's that good in the centre, he plays in the centre no matter what.
But he's been brought back in as a part of the Ben Thomas, isn't it? As in, like, they've played together before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is. Long term, no, I agree.
But when we've got Archie Hughes and Sam Costello and like the back three is all Scarlets, and then Ben Thomas gets injured and so Eddie James is playing, you just have to pick a Scarlets 13 as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Simple
this is something that anyone who's watched Gloucester this season, like outside of our game, will know they are quite flaky defensively, and I know they're doing well in terms of the table, but they do tend to leak, quite a lot of meters, quite a lot of territory. So for me, if we're looking at Scotland as this next game, the way Scotland play, they get our ball wide as fast as they can. So we need a 13 that is, going to be on the ball defensively. And we know that's Joe Roberts. We know, he can put some of the best 13s in the world in his back pocket and go, how are you doing? And we've seen him do that, which is, the crazy thing. At the park, we've seen him take on, Lekanyuam, really go, yeah, you're okay. This is when Am was like considered one of the best players in the world. And if we're going to have him at 13, then that means you've got to really put Eddie James in at 12. And
exactly.
You'd like to think that someone of the experience of Thomas Williams and Chicken would, be able to cope with that. But yeah, I can't see them changing much. I can't see all the boys going more than just the back three. I'm expecting Eddie James on the bench, though, considering we got released Joe Roberts this weekend. I'm really expecting.
I think you have to have Joe on the bench, just because if you look at the cover, there's no one who can cover 13 in that team.
Then why wasn't Eddie released? It just
I know it's weird. I don't get it, but it's weird. Yes, I can't argue, but I think Joe will be on the bench. If it was me, I'd stick with the same 23.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Got a sneaking suspicion we might get exposed outside that 13 channel. But there we are. Anything else to say, boys? Okay, I think we're either approaching or on the hour mark, so we have done well this week. As always, thank you, boys, for joining me. If you've got this far, like, share, subscribe, show it to a friend. Who knows? They might be as crazy as we are. And other than that, we'll catch you next time. So thank you all for listening. Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye.